Welcome and good morning to another edition of the Friday Morning Commute. This is your host, Rovin Doug, going live a bit sooner than I expected, but hey, we're live, so let's go with it. So, I am actually coming to you live from West Middlesex, Pennsylvania, where I am going to have a job interview here in a little over an hour, so this is my way of de-stressing before the interview. But before we get started, let's go ahead and check out what our local producer of Xur RoI is selling for us today in the realm of Destiny. Now, hopefully, there'll be a lot of fun stuff going on in the near future for the world of Destiny, but it does seem to be in a slight bit of a content drought, which is good for those who haven't completed all the in-game activities, but it does make it difficult to find people who are willing to help you through the in-game of in-game activities. But we may discuss that a little bit later on in the show. Now, for everyone, Xur's exotic legacy item is the helmet. So it's the legacy exotic helmet engram. Now remember, these legacy engrams are only for year 1 exotics, and it will not give you a year 2 or year 3 equivalent unless they unlock a year 1 helmet engram, or helmet exotic, since this is the helmet exotic week, that has a year 2 or year 3 equivalent, and then you should be able to purchase it via the kiosk because you have discovered it for year 1. Now, with that being said, don't expect to get a year 2 or year 3 exotic out of it. Just saying. Now, for the Titans, we have the exotic helm of Saint 14. For the Hunters, we have the Radiant Dance Machine boots. And for the Warlocks, we have the Skull of Dire Ahamkara, which is a helmet exotic. For everyone, we have the Invective, and Xur is selling his infamous 3 of coins. That seems to have been fixed. Sorry about my moving the camera around, just trying to get my fingers positioned. I don't have my mount with me, so I'm kind of free standing it on the rental car's steering wheel. Let me turn down the heat so I don't roast myself. It's getting hot in here. It's getting wicked, yeah. Anyways, with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about this week's at Bungie. Now, coming up in a little less than 2 weeks, on the 14th, Bungie will be dropping hotfix 2.5.0.2, and this one is going to be dealing with some weapon balancing issues. Now, if you've played the Crucible at all, you know the shotgun is favored, especially the Matador 64 and Party Crasher. Now, with that being said, Bungie isn't going to do just a blanket nerf on shotguns. I believe there will be probably some nerfing, just a little bit, but I doubt it's going to be a widespread nerf. At least I hope it isn't. But they do plan on bringing primaries back into the spotlight. I'd be interested to see how they do this and how effectively they do this in regards to the community feedback. Now, this will all be going live. They'll actually be talking about this live on stream at their Bungie channel on Twitch on Wednesday, February 8th. So, coming up here soon. Next Wednesday. With that being said, I believe it's going to be at 10 Pacific, so about 12 Central, which is about normal for their streams. Probably last about an hour and a half max. Like I said, they're going to be, I hope they talk about their buffs and nerfs in a way that makes it enjoyable for the community. Now, they will have the sandbox designers or weapon designers, the people making the changes, implementing the changes, will be talking about them. So hopefully this will be interesting for those who are numbers oriented as well as those who are not numbers oriented, so they can have an idea of what's going to change when the hotfix releases on Valentine's Day. Now, with that being said, job interview. So, if you haven't heard, if you don't know the story, back in the last half of November, I learned that my company was going to be closing due to some mismanagement of the company and the primary investor being essentially done with the product after 5 years. And 5 years of... And let me put it this way. The first 5 years for a software company are the hardest. You have to get a product, you have to get it to market, you have to start getting customers. So, an investor, a software investor, should know that you should start seeing you shouldn't expect a return until after 5 years. With that being said, our investor was kind enough to give us the 5 years, but due to the mismanagement, his investment in the company had to keep growing when, in theory, he should have started seeing that monetary investment decrease as we approached 5 years, in the sense of our project was getting more stable, we were starting to attract and keep clients, so his monetary contributions should have been declining instead of continually going up and up and up and up and up. At least in some sense. You add in more human resource, obviously your investment's going up, but you should see a return on that within 3 to 6 months, and that just wasn't happening. So, no fault to him. He made his choice, which is the choice that he needed to make for him and his family and his legacy. So I totally understand that. Totally fine with that. But with that being said, I was essentially out of a job. I didn't know exactly when. It turned out it was December 31st was whenever my official last day was. End of December. I think the 30th that I really was my final day of work. But with that being said, I went about 2-3 weeks into January without getting a job, and then all of a sudden I finally got the final job interview with the company behind me, Autosoft DMS, and then I got another interview with another remote working company, so I get to choose essentially between the two of them, maybe even keep both of them, but we shall see. With that being said, I have a feeling that Autosoft possibly won't pan out well, being the fact that they are here in Pennsylvania. All my family's in Texas, as well as that's where my second daughter is buried. And I would prefer to stay next to her so that as my living children get older, we can go and visit her and see her more often, and my children can have some sort of knowledge of where to find their sister in case they wanted to go see her on her birthday. Just slightly morbid, I will give you that, but it's a sentimental thing. That's all that matters. Now, with this being said, it is a potential for remote work. If that's the case, then I will probably see if I can try to work both jobs. Autosoft would be my during the day, 8 hours, 7 to 4, 8 to 5, however you want to swing it, work on that. And then the evenings, then I would work on my other job and work both of them until I can get bills paid off and so on and so forth. The reason I'm looking at this Autosoft job even remotely is because of the benefits. The healthcare for their gold package is $300 a paycheck, and that's $1,000 deductible. So I'm just like, boo, yeah. Hopefully that hasn't changed with the new year, but we shall see. We shall see. Now, we will be flying out from Pittsburgh about 6 o'clock Eastern, 6:45 Eastern. So I should be back in Amarillo by about midnight Central, hopefully. So with that being said, it's going to be a very long day because I've been up since about 6 a.m. Central. It's about 7:30 Central right now, 8:30 Eastern. And I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited. I hope you guys are having a wonderful week. Hope you guys have an amazing weekend. And you know what? I will see all of you next week, hopefully. I want to apologize for those who follow my Bowtie Tuesday Imgur album. I was dealing with the aftermath of sick kids / getting sick myself this past Tuesday, so that is the reason why there's no Bowtie Tuesday. And my formal Friday is a little less formal than normal, but it was easier to take this sweater than it was a suit jacket, and it was slightly warmer, considering that the car temperature says the outside temp is 21 degrees Fahrenheit. So, With that being said, we're going to go ahead and wrap up this Friday morning commute, since I'm just sitting here parked. With that being said, let's go ahead and review what Xur has for us this week. Again, he has the Legacy Exotic Helmet Engram for everyone. This will give you a Year 1 Exotic, aka Legacy Exotic. These are not going to be Year 2 or Year 3 exotic helmets unless the Year 1 Exotic has a Year 2 or Year 3 equivalent. In that case, you can go purchase the equivalent helmet from the armor kiosk next to the Tower Vanguard. With that being said, Titans have available for purchase to them the Helm of State 14, Hunters have the Radiant Dance Machine boots, and Warlocks as well have the Dire Ahamkara Skull helmet. Everyone has the chance to purchase the Invective shotgun, which is a pretty nice shotgun considering it reloads ammo. I believe regenerates ammo. Xur does have his 3 of coins, so that does seem to be a continuing item in the Destiny economy. Comments on that shelved for a later date. With that being said, thanks again for stopping by. Thanks again for watching. If you are watching this on Periscope, please visit me other places such as YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter to find out whenever I release other content and other news updates. You can also find me on Periscope if you're watching this on YouTube, so you can find me there. You can also, in other places, go to my Twitter and my Twitch, both using the same username of RovenDoug. And if you got confused by me saying all of that, let me reiterate in a more succinct manner. If you're watching on Periscope, please follow me on and subscribe on YouTube. Follow me on Twitter and Twitch.tv. And if you're on YouTube, you can follow me on Periscope as well as Twitter and Twitch.tv. With that being said, I hope everyone has an amazing Friday, and I will see you again next week. Eyes up, Guardians, and I will see you Starside. Bye.